Forgot my initial point. Ah, remembered it. Judeo was kind of like a Don, if you will, and was the reason why I came up with the quote unquote Nova title. And he just had people that would come up to him and, you know, was like, hey, Nova, what can I do for you? And everybody, likes to fight. So he's like, man, I need some people killed. And of course, people were like, shit, who do you need to kill? Dude, this elf probably had to say Regan, Talamalanore, or however you say that, or Talamalanore. I can't say the shit, but I can spell it because he said it a lot. And so I don't know, probably about 16, 18 people went off to kill Regan. And she killed them all. That shit is awesome. But yeah, I mean, I did that, and it wasn't because I was out of characterly trying to kill her character. I was just, shit, RP in a character. And she whispered me one time, and we during the whole time we were joking about it, laughing about it, and then she was like, after the 18th dude was like, all right, this is not really working out. You know what I mean? Not to the point where I felt, and I'm not sure if she was, but she didn't have an attitude about it. She was just like, I really don't want my character to die. All these fights are character warnings, and she wants to keep the RP. By this time, we were cool to the point where we were like, man, it would be sweet if Jadeo and Regan teamed up and started whooping a whole bunch of ass, which they started to do. And it was good to enjoy that shit. So thank you for that, Regan. Lox Martin, you got to be one of the nicest people I've seen through text. I can't really explain it because, like as I said, voice inflection and sarcasm are lost through text. But one thing that is shown greatly is, I guess, the words exactly that you say. Text, if you can read it, the message is very clear if spoken or written clear. And I think Loxy just has a very open heart, really nice and friendly to the point where, there's been so many times where I got on MSN super pissed off and vented to Loxy, Miss Box. And, really made my day feel better. And I mean, here's Loxy's on another continent, on another hemisphere of the world and shit, and still just looking out for a person that she doesn't know and caring and being concerned. There's not a lot of people like that in your own general area, so that that's something to be appreciated. Thank you for that. Um, Corzilla. First of all, Corzilla is a RP monster. I'll say that right now. I have the most respect for her just dedication to a character, subtle details in the character. There's a few characters that you see on the server that are just authentic, like in the sense that they're so independent of the server as a medium, you can actually see them as, I guess, living entities, if you will. I know it's kind of crazy, but I mean, some of the shit that this motherfucker RPs as far as being just a regular ass farm girl is just funny to me in the situations that she's placed in. And she's also another who is engaged in the storylines, who have taken some of the random crap that I've thrown out there just for, the sake of driving the story forward, little intrigue and, things different, things being different,
That's
excuse me.
basically the things that I look for when I RP with somebody. If somebody who's really down to go with impromptu ideas and kind of just roll with the punches, as I've said before. Because when you DM a storyline, you know what's going on. It's hard to immerse yourself. At least for me, it is because I already know what's going to happen. I know where the clues are laid. Now I'm just watching somebody else's reaction, and that's not really that fun for me. And I want to have fun too. So if I can just impromptu things in a manner where things are just tossed up in the air where someone can take initiative and find another story twist or things like that really helps things go along enjoyable for the person leading, and that kind of helps them drive stories if maybe they have ideas, things like that. Another thing is if you have a story that's well constructed, it's difficult if people aren't um, naturally heading in the direction that you want them to for a story. Now there are ways that a lot of GMs or DMs are very talented to kind of sway their characters over there, but for some it never feels like natural choice. There's always that one person who's like, you know what, damn it, I want to go to the left. If the right answer is to go to the right, then now you got to make shit up to see what's on the left side, and it can be difficult. But if you kind of have an impromptu idea with it, you can react to what the players want to do, and I think that that helps them get involved as well. But I have uh, just went the hell off track. Godzilla, you the truth. I'm gonna move on. Bavel. I find Bavel to be just a genius. I was really fascinated with the Janae pilgrimage just because of the dedication, the attention to detail, and just the things that he was really trying to, I don't want to say enforce, but I guess convey. He had a very, I don't want to say systematic, but organized way to get everyone together. In the Janae pilgrimage, it wasn't good for you to, and you could, you didn't want to inhibit RP, but I guess porting back and forth, it was to really time to really keep everyone together in a very, I guess, party based fashion, in the sense where you started to care and be really enveloped in the backgrounds of other characters, not just your own. And I mean, just so much from the forums, how you had the brackets in the DP, and the events that he ran, and which is difficult for me was Bavel came across when I first RP'd with him so unorthodox. I didn't know how to respond. Um, there was a situation where I had my druid in there, and she was either being attacked or not attacked. There was something that it was a conflict within her, and basically Bobble was giving me the free creativity to describe what was happening, why it was happening, and even able to even drive a little bit of the story if I was thinking clearly. You know what I mean? To be able to explain what was going on with her for the sake of the party. But I figured since it was his storyline, he was in charge and he was going to tell me what I was doing. So it wasn't until much later that I was like, man, that guy's the truth. So, big ups to the Janae pilgrimage, and had a great run. Extremely excited and happily selfish that I finally got Bobble to make a Nova Light. So that is awesome. His dedication to this character is amazing as well. And it's just, he's kind of almost a method actor with it, where he doesn't have a lot of alts to my knowledge, but the alts that he do have are just well defined, well structured, uh, great foundation in the source material. Bavel is a monster. I'm not sure if you guys didn't know, and for people who are confused, those are terms of endearment. uh, yeah, RP with Bavel if you haven't got the chance. Uh, Another shout out. Who's next? I got a list for memory. Krillari. Krillari has a feedback thread up, and I don't feel like typing, so I'm about to throw Krillari ass on there because Krillari's cool. I gotta be real. I didn't notice Krillari when he first came on. I didn't RP with any of his characters, and he was GM. Still didn't know him. Still didn't really RP with him after that. I really started to RP with Krillari around the time. I started RPing with Krillari when I guess mutual parties started to intersect as far as RP was concerned, and it was always cool because I really liked the way that his characters were are developed. They never um, force anything on you as far as accepting them. Like if they're, no snowflakes, no nothing like that. You know what I mean? He's just got characters that are real. And when you see them, they're acting like how they should be. And interacting with them, you're always gonna get a very consistent and genuine response. A lot of things that you can really tell an RP or buyer is their emotes. Where when they do emote, it's enjoyable to read. Their RP is, makes you curious on what this character is going to do. You want to interact with them. Um, had a lot of RP with Krillari as of late, and even on a couple of his alts. You know what I mean? And they were dope. Went to the death of Gorin, I believe. That was sweet. The Argent Crusade, that's sweet. Him and Wrigley are really fucking putting down on some events, and he's running great events, getting stories going, and look how much RP Hearthglen has gotten. And you know, shout out to both of them and all the other GMs that participated, if any. And it's just good to see a good proactive GM out there and just trying to, not that there aren't any others, but it's just good to see that he's out there doing the right thing, which you want to see on Conquest of the Horde. You know what I mean, on some real stuff. Just because that's some Warcraft RP right there, and it's always enjoyable. I enjoyed both events. Caravan, man, Caravan. I'm saying it right now, Rookie of the Year, because like Caravan is just crazy in the sense that, oh no, man, the context of her emotes, the once again, I know I always say dedication to character. That's always something that I really just love to see, and it's something that's hard for me to do, So I respect it when I see somebody else do it, you know. But yeah, like I said, dedication to character, great emotes, great characterization. Thing about Caravan that stuck out was, excuse me if I slaughter this name. It's like Elihanara or something like that. Elihanara Saragon. Back during the Novalite Saragon War, this character just came out of the just right field. You know what I mean? Not even 50. And it's just role playing like a level 80. And the only reason why I say that is, and this ain't true all the time. Well, usually when you have a character who is grunted and all that, when they got their profile written out, the RPer has, I guess, a conscious base to platform their character out when they're RPing. Ellie came out just Saragoned out, you know what I mean? Noble to the fullest, blood elf, manipulative and just genius to the point where I was like, man, I need whoever this RPer is, just own the team, you know what I mean? And it was great RPing with her, good action, and I even had to look it up, man. It's not quite often that you RP with somebody and you're like, holy shit, who is that person? So I can RP with them again. You know what I mean? And Caravan was one of those. The fucking peon that had me and Grog Locky was talking about, like, I don't know who this person is, but they're amazing. I tell her that shit all the time at Grunt or Guild Chat. She's got Jadeo's baby girl, Xanth. So it's glad to have her on the team. RP has always been fun. List checking. Trying to be quick because it's probably like fucking 20 minutes, but You guys is cool, and I'm just showing appreciation. Uh, Tupac's got that song in Dear Mama. There's no way I can pay you back, but the plan is to show you that I understand. You are appreciated. And I think that that's just real to one person to say to another from time to time. Sadron or Sadron, I don't know if there's supposed to be a space. I'm going to say Sadron. Sadron's got Jadeo's oldest son. And that's really the whole context of the RP that we've had. And it's just been amazing to RP with someone out of the blue. I had a Nova Light when in the personals. I just needed some people to RP his children, and Sadron was like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and just has really made a great character, and to the point where it kind of just blew my expectations of even what his Judeo's children would be, and it was just real cool. He was looking up in the history, getting involved, and very open minded, and his emotes and just character representation is just really solid, and it's just excellent fun to RP with. Sadron is also funny as hell. You know what I mean? There's always times, your friends say something funny and you just, stone face the monitor and type LOL, like you're laughing on the inside. It's funny, but you're just not, like Sadron just has me rolling all the time on some just funny shit off the blue. So, and sometimes his character does it in character, so it's always fun. Zariel and Thalion traveling to places where elves don't go and just kind of having a sarcastic overlook to everything is just funny because Zariel looks up to his older family members, Thalion, Mastis, a couple of others, Altaria, and it's just funny when he's just walking around and I don't know, you had to be there, I guess, but it's good stuff. It's always great. Hawk, got to give it up to Hawk. Hawk is excellent GM, been holding it down for a long time. Have nothing but enjoyable, fun stuff to say about Hawk. Uh, I was rooting for him to beat Nostra on the posts. He finally did it, so congratulations to that. I know that was something that he was looking forward to. Uh, One of my most memorable Hawk moments of many was during the Zeppelin crashed event where we were all just bored. And once again, taken from the Book of Cressy, I wanted to just throw an impromptu um, traveling attack. Cressy usually always used boats, and then that's when the infamous Hydra testicle happened. And look that up. That ain't, you know what I mean? That's PG-13. It's a typo, but whatever. So uh, I've tried to flip it up, and I decided to use a Zeppelin. Now I had some Forsaken, I guess pirates, if you will, attack the plane. There was a fight that ensued, and I don't know who it was. It was like a shaman or something. Somebody, maybe a mage, decided to use fire, and I was just like, "Are you sure you want to use fire on a wooden zeppelin?" Dude was like, "Yes." So I was like, "All right." We did the roll. I was like, "The ship's on fire," and or the zeppelin. So long story short, Hawk is the only GM on the in the squad, and I'm like, "All right, so Hawk, what should I do?" He's like, "Man, it's your story. I don't know. What do you want to do?" And that was a response that I never expected, and that's kind of really changed what I could do on the server because I thought that as far as RP was concerned, we would hit a certain boundaries where a GM would take over. Now that's true in some instances, but not in the sense of being able to control your own character's story. And I know that seems obvious to some, but I think that there's a lot of people on the server that really don't know, I guess, what they can really do in the safe realms of what we're allowed to do. And that's why people are like, man, the GMs won't let us do anything. It's like they're actually letting us do a lot. We just have to really do it, you know. So Hawk let me crash the ship. He even asked if his character, who was a pilot, could help crash it better. And I was like, sure. You know, you're not waiving your authority. You're enforcing the RP. Everything's safe and logical. We keep it moving. Long story short, yeah, the Zeppelin crash event in Tenaris turned out to be some of the funnest RP I've ever had. And it's just good to see GMs encourage RP and not limit it. Not saying that some do, but some do, you know, so keep it moving. Saul, gotta give it up to him. I know I said in the Kothcast about the Black Harvest. Big fan of Jared, you know, always have been. As soon as I joined the server, when, you know, I wasn't even a grunt at this time, I don't think. Well, yeah, actually, I had to be because I think Judea was a Death Knight at the time. But anyway, it was just, you always saw a couple of characters. It's like Hesper, Jared, Zunaj, Saime, Clash Company, you know, Agnor, and they were just running Ratchet, and that's because that's when Ratchet was a huge hub. There was an arena there that McCain made, and it was just sweet. We just got a lot of RP there, and it's people like that that when you're RPing with on a constant basis, and they kind of are very dedicated, have a structure. Those are the kind of people that you kind of look to, like, okay, you know, these are the things that I can do. These are the things that, you know, I want to be able to do. Not like you want to copy, but the thing is you have to have structure. You want to, you know, you have to observe somebody walking to learn how to walk. You know what I mean? And I think that he's a good person to RP with. You can see the Black Harvest is massive. You know, last time I checked, it was like 71. So that's and they're Forsaken. That's what makes it more incredible. You know how limited Forsaken RP has, to my knowledge, always been on the server, and he just kind of took it over. So um, props to that. Thank you for all the RP. Next is one of my favorite people on the server. All of this Nova, Noble, Dawn and Nova, Light and Nova, Shadow Nova, Casanova, all of that, the kids, the family, just all came from what happened, the restart, or before the restart that I was on. It's kind of hard to explain. I came in like 2009, I think, around like July or something. So you can do the math from there. But Jadeo met, I'll explain it later. But anyway, he had a guild, the Lighter Nova at the time. Met a character by the name of Elil or Elil or Alania, however you want to call it. Uh, and they just went on adventures and had the most fun and just cool, I guess, character development, RP, and that's what is the reason why I'm still here, and it's because that's what I wanted to do initially when I first joined the server. And I still do. You know, I just want to get together with a group of people, have those characters bond, and go on adventures. You know what I mean? If there's giants, let's run into a giant, or let's run into a hydra, or a pack of trolls, or you know, some crazy shit in Northrend. Let's go do something. Let's go see something. Let's go fight it. Let's run from it. You know, let's have our characters afraid of it. You know, it's fun. It's something to do, and I got to do pretty much all of the stuff that I really wanted to do with you know, the Light of Nova and then the Dawn of Nova, and just having Elo right there the whole time as a consistent character was just super cool. You know what I mean? First of all, I became just a fan of the character because for some reason she just got unrealistically high rolls all the time, which just made her that much more badass because she was beating up a whole bunch of people. Jadeo always got beat up all the time, you know, because my rolls just sucked, but you know, he always tried to play it off, but nobody's really owned him like that. Elil just, you know, kicking ass all the time, and she was like, the lieutenant or like second in command, and then but it wasn't even like there was a command chain. It was a mutual thing of respect, and that was the only way that you could even get Elil on your team. It was like, hey man, it was cool. Finally came on the council. My point is even though I'm just rambling for old story's sake, um, just I gotta say thank you for really being there consistent through a lot of the just random things that I've thrown out for a story, being consistent, having fun, showing me lore, showing me really things that you can do in RP, and just being all around cool, great. Because now I get to do all of this cool, fun stuff now, and it's just appreciated. I can't say thank you enough to Flamos for real, though. Just really enjoyed my time here. I know this was super long. I'm kind of ashamed by that, but um, I'm not ashamed of saying thank you to people that I've enjoyed my time here before. I really don't um, speak about it too often, but to some I do. But I think, thank yous are in order. I know people have bad days, get online and just enjoy somebody's RP or enjoy RP and they get their mind off of it, or they just enjoy the conversation when they're having Hajal or Whisper, Party Chat, Raid Chat. And you take those people for granted lightweight. You don't really know if they're going to log on the next day. And then I was always thinking, if God forbid something happens to me, you know what I mean, nobody would really know what happened to me. And this, the server would just keep going, obviously. But it's like, damn, I wonder if people are like, what happened to Pharaoh? You know what I mean? It's like, shit, I could be, who knows? So, just thank you to everybody. Sorry, this was super, super long.